Good morning. This is Caring in America, the podcast for caregivers and care recipients. We have two special guests with us this morning. I'm going to introduce one of those gentlemen, Patrick Johnson, and let you introduce the other. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, good morning, Richard. Thanks for having us. Patrick Johnson here, Sacramento, California. Been in this wonderful industry 40 years now. A number of credentials: CLTC, CLU, and I'm an accredited estate planner. So, Richard, when you see somebody's business card or email salutation that says CLTC, then you know you're working with a long term care specialist who has special training in this product line. We also have an organization called CLTC on a national basis where they train agents and financial planners on long term care planning. And our guest today, Bill, is the head of training with over 30 years' experience in this field. Please welcome Bill Comfort.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. I'm glad to get to be here and be on this podcast. I've been in the insurance business this year, right about now. It's pretty much my 35th anniversary in the insurance industry. I sold my first long-term care insurance policy in about 1993. So there's the more than 30 years. And since 2000, for the last 25 years professionally, I'm an insurance agent. But I've specialized exclusively in long-term care insurance for the last 25 years. I'm independent, I'm a broker, I work with multiple companies and different types of policies. I also do a lot of training with providers to understand long-term care insurance from the time of claim. So for example, home care agencies and care managers can help their clients document and process claims more effectively. So this is kind of my whole ecosystem professionally as well as with insurance. And the topic we're going to talk about today is interesting because we have really for the first time in the United States an insurance product that can help families pay for care that you can buy after you already need care. And I'm sure we've all heard from people who say, mom was just diagnosed with Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or something, and she's still independent, she's doing great, but can we get some insurance to pay for the care that we're going to need? It's too late.
Sure.
It's kind of a crude analogy, but you can't buy collision on your auto insurance after you hit the tree. And so that's been a hard conversation because families recognize care is coming. They recognize the cost of care is very high, and they're asking the question, how do we pay for it? And now we have a product that's designed to help people pay for care once care is needed. And that's what my presentation is going to be on. I'll share my screen here and go through some of this information. This is a concept, a policy type that's actually been used in England for close to 30 years, but
Wow.
we've never had it in a significant way in the United States. So it's new, it's unique, and you kind of have to step out of what you're used to thinking about long-term care insurance and paying for care. There's really only one of these products available in the United States right now. It's highly specialized underwriting for an income annuity that's designed for care. And I'll give a little bit of detail or background or context here.
Sure.
The insurance company that's offering this is called Lumos. The product is called an immediate care plan. And I want to sort of say this as a disclosure up front that my presentation is not designed to have anybody buy this insurance. It's not a solicitation. It's not an offer. It's highly individualized, and it's not available in every state yet. It's active in about 44 states in the United States, and those are continuing to grow. So it's widely available, but it takes personalized service and attention and an appropriately licensed agent. So what I wanted to start with was just a real quick primer around what are called immediate or income annuities. The technical term in the insurance industry is a single premium immediate annuity, or a SPIA is the abbreviation. And these have been around as long as we've had life insurance, 150 plus years. And think of it as a private pension where you have a guaranteed income. So the classic annuity, income annuity, guarantees the buyer a stream of income in exchange for an upfront lump sum single premium, no matter how long they live. So if you're expecting longevity or want to make sure that a stream of income never ends, that's the use of these annuities. And many, many insurance companies offer these, and they've been around for a long time. The income that you get from these SPIAs is based on, first, how much premium you pay, but then the insurance company makes an income offer using standard normal life expectancy tables. I'll show a couple of examples as we go along, and current interest rates. And the insurance company makes an offer. If you die much sooner, and that's the premium idea, but you have the guarantee that if you live a long life, you'll never run out of income. And there's a number of variations to this, but that's the simple concept. Now, next, I want to talk about an annuity that is not widely understood in the United States. There are a couple companies that offer this, and I think we're going to see more of this second type, which is called very generically an enhanced SPIA. It is medically underwritten. Sometimes they're called a smoker's SPIA. These are designed for regular retirement income, just like the basic income annuity I just talked about. But it's the insurance companies, instead of just using a normal life expectancy table, they look at what somebody's health history is. If they've been a lifelong smoker, they obviously have a shortened life expectancy. And in the annuity world, for the same premium, if you have a shorter life expectancy, the insurance company can offer you a little bit higher income. So these enhanced SPIAs, again, it's based on the amount of premium that you paid, but then they underwrite you based on your health history on a broad assumption basis. So how does insurance companies look at smokers' life expectancy, or a smoker with some heart disease and maybe type 2 diabetes, those types of things? It's looking at health history, but on a broad insurance underwriting basis. The product that I'm going to spend a little more time with you on today is what is called generically an immediate needs annuity. And this is what is new to the United States. This is what they've had in England, again, for 35 years. It's a SPIA, it's an income annuity, but it is built and designed for people who already need care. There's an extra layer of underwriting, and the underwriting consideration is highly personalized, highly individualized, which can create an even larger income for the same premium. Or, as you'll see in some examples as we go along, it allows for less premium to be paid to generate the needed income to pay for care. So that income's again based on the premium you pay to the insurance company, but the medical underwriting goes beyond just general health conditions. It's based on the individual's impairments, limitations, need for care, cost of care that they're paying or considering paying, as well as their health history and so on. So that's just kind of a little context that's here. And there's some confusion that's come in between this just generically medically underwritten SPIA versus the immediate need annuity. And the immediate care plan, the immediate need annuity has a much higher income opportunity for those who need care. We all know there's a cost of care issue. We all know, and a number of these podcasts have talked about what care costs. It's expensive. And, just broadly, surveys have shown most Americans can't afford, just from their income, cash flow, the cost of paying for care. And that insufficient income you tie into how long will care be needed? Will mom need care for 6 months, or could it be 6 years? And that changes the financial dynamic significantly as well. Again, high cost of care, and then, what's the safety net? If you run out of money, you may be eligible for Medicaid, for example, but that's not attractive, particularly because in many states still, if you go on Medicaid, you're probably having to move to a traditional nursing home versus maybe assisted living or home care, which the family may want. So this is kind of the perfect storm that hits families when care is needed. And this immediate care plan, or this concept of the immediate need annuity, creates some significant value for not only those who need care and their families, their loved ones, but also the professionals who are providing care. Home care agencies, care communities, assisted living facilities, memory care, they have an interest in hoping to keep their care services paying clients as long as possible to provide better care, but also for their businesses. So financial peace of mind, like any other income annuity, this guarantees income no matter how long the person lives. It can be very cost efficient versus just paying out of pocket or just buying a standard off the shelf annuity, which could be a significant mistake, as you'll see in an example here in a moment. And it can also allow a family to do other planning. If they can use a portion of their assets to pay the premium and guarantee the needed income to pay for care, now the rest of their assets can be deployed to their family, to their heirs, or other needs that they may have. And this type of a product, it's not available for everybody. If you look on the right side here, you have to have a person who's already receiving care. So not just we anticipate mom's going to need care at some point in the future. They're receiving and paying for some degree of professional care right now. Or they've signed a contract, say, with assisted living to move in the next month or two, where there is a known cost that is there. Really, it's the adult children or the power of attorney of aging parents that are highly involved in this, especially when we have seniors who have cognitive issues like dementia. Somebody else is managing their finances for them. So who is this not suitable for? It's not suitable for somebody who doesn't have significant health concerns, and again, not only significant health concerns, but who's not yet receiving paid professional care. Um, Here's everyone who benefits. Obviously, the person who needs care benefits because now there's more income, more cash flow available to pay for the care that they or their family would desire, maybe even hopefully higher quality of care. The family, their family gets peace of mind. They know their loved ones being well taken care of, and they know that quality of care, if designed properly with the rest of their financial resources, that they have an insurance guarantee that this stream of income will last as long as their loved one lives. And as I mentioned, care communities, home care providers, they benefit because their clients, they know their clients have the resources to continue services with them. Ultimately, there's a benefit to government as well. This is not a Medicaid annuity. This is not a Medicaid planning strategy. This is a private pay, private funding to pay for care, which means people who are able to use this kind of insurance, this type of income when care is needed, guaranteed income through the insurance company, the government benefits because that's one less person who's not likely to end up needing government paid assistance. So here's an example, very generally, and the way this product is best used is when somebody already needs care, they're paying for care, and there's what we call a care gap. So there's the cost of care minus the client's income, and that's the difference that individuals and families struggle with. For example, if their cost of care is $8,000 a month, but their income's only $3,500 a month, that's a gap of $4,500 a month or $54,000 a year. If this individual has $300,000 in other assets, that's how they're paying for the care gap right now. They're spending down those assets. And depending on, rate of inflation and growth of those assets, cost of care, that could be gone in 5.5 years. What if mom lives 6 or 7 or 8 years, for example? So how do we fill that gap efficiently, effectively? And that's what this immediate care plan, or this concept of an immediate needs annuity, does. It creates a bridge across that care gap. And as I mentioned earlier, the powers in the underwriting, a standard SPIA, a standard income annuity, looks at normal life expectancy, which for a male generally is about 76 years, and for women it's about 81 years. Well, what if you have a 75-year-old with dementia and maybe some other health concerns and they need care? They probably have, compared to normal, a reduced or limited life expectancy. And that's the engine that drives this immediate need annuity. And it's highly individualized. They look at the individual applying for this coverage. What's their current health issues? What are their impairments? What degree of care do they need? What type of care are they getting? And this underwriting is based on, the engine behind it is based on 25 years of history of working with these plans in England. So this isn't a new guesstimate here in the US. The team that has brought this here to us is bringing that underwriting, that individualized underwriting expertise. So here's a couple of examples. And these are cases that have been issued using this type of product. We have a woman, age 84, happens to live in North Carolina, diagnosis of vascular dementia, and needs care. And her family on an income basis is short or has a gap of $55,000 a year, $4,800 a month between the cost of care and the income. So here's a comparison. If this 84-year-old female went to an insurance company and said, how much premium do I have to pay to guarantee $55,000 a year of income no matter how long I live? And using the normal life expectancy tables that insurance companies have, it would cost $380,000. That's the single premium. This woman, based on the underwriting, only had to pay $225,000 to guarantee $55,000 a year, no matter how long she lives. If she were to buy this annuity, or her power of attorney did, and if she dies in 2 years, it would have paid out $110,000. Well, some might say, well, the insurance company won in that case. But that difference, that's the premium in exchange for the other possibility that she could live 4, 5, 6 years or longer. So what the family is buying is the peace of mind, and ultimately insurance, that's what it buys for us, for our families, for our loved ones, is a peace of mind. And in this case, this woman had about $500,000 in investments. So instead of deploying $380,000 to guarantee the income needed to pay for care, less than half of the assets had to be deployed. The rest of the assets could help pay for other things she might need, or as care costs might increase, there's still some reserve there as well. Just one other example, very similar, that the difference is actually fairly dramatic here. An 85-year-old male diagnosed with dementia and needs help with multiple activities of daily living, physical help as well. He needed $76,800 per year. That was the gap. So high cost of care minus the income, just the income, Social Security, pension, maybe interest income, he was still short $76,800 a year. A standard, a regular income annuity, a regular SPIA, he would have had to pay a premium of $482,000 to guarantee that income forever, with the underwriting focused on the individual and their care needs and health conditions. He only needed to pay $231,000, and his family has a guarantee. The insurance company will pay $76,800 a year, no matter how long he lives. And that's probably the clearest example of how this works. Again, let me say this: it's not for everybody. It's not a panacea. You can't even apply for this annuity until you already need care. But here's an insurance product to guarantee income once care is needed. And so for people who need care, or their families who are going to pay privately for high quality care at home or in a care community, this is a way for them to make sure that level of care, that cost of care, can continue to be paid for this person no matter what. The other thing is, we don't ever want, and this is a very important kind of suitability issue. You never want to use all of a person's assets to pay the premium. That's just not appropriate. But as you can see, a portion perhaps of their assets can then guarantee cash flow significantly as they go along. For professionals who may be interested in how this works, there's a process. There's actually a pre-screening that happens. You can't even submit an application until the insurance company reviews some basic information. Does this person already need care? What is the care cost? Do they have a power of attorney? Yes or no? Then an application is done, and the medical assessment is based on a phone interview with the primary caregiver who has the most knowledge about the person's condition. The underwriting comes back in a week or less before someone gets an offer or a proposal. So when you apply, you don't put any money in, but we have to have, to start the process, knowledge that this person already needs care and that they're paying for some care, because the financial aspect is part of what they look at as well. Again, the product that's new to the United States, called the Immediate Care Plan, is backed by a company called Lumos Insurance, A-rated, 45-year old company with a strong commitment to this senior marketplace. Again, depending on the state, may or may not be available, and it has to be purchased and discussed with an agent, a licensed agent who has the proper annuity credentials and has been appointed and approved to work with this kind of specialized coverage. And as you can imagine, a lot of care has to be used because these are frail elders, maybe even cognitively impaired elders. Now, the buyer in that case would be their power of attorney. But there's a high degree of suitability and ethical care that we have to use. And one of the things that I've seen that has been done in England, and that we see happening with this product and this new company offering it here in the United States, is they're putting a big emphasis on that. So again, maybe some questions. I hope this was helpful for the audience. It's exciting. It's new and it is different. But I think it's a wonderful opportunity to help families in a way we've never been able to before.
And I thank you, Bill. And I think this was a great presentation. And as we've discussed in all the years that I've been, educating, the biggest issue that I've come across the country is cost of care and how people are going to make that payment and ongoing payments. As you mentioned, this may not be workable and the best product for everyone, but it is great to know there's a product out there that so many people find themselves in a situation where mom, dad, a loved one is already ill, has already suffered a bad fall, needs care, is already paying for care, and how are they going to pay for it? No, so I think the information that you've given is fantastic. And what we want to make sure from a plan to age and from our podcast is to make sure that people are aware of this, especially if you work with individuals in the placement industry and show them senior living, whether it be an assisted living, whether it be memory care, or whether you're in in-home care. And you get, I don't know how many phone calls they get on a monthly basis from people like this, that maybe the daughter was taken care of. Now they want to bring a professional in. And the biggest question is, how are they going to pay for it? What further comments do you or Patrick have?
Well, Richard, Bill and I just look forward to helping clients on this product ages 70 to 95, just to let you know, and helping advisors across the country with this critical care tool. For those people that did not buy long-term care, I want to thank you, Richard, for having us on today.
Sure.
Absolutely.
No, I appreciate it, gentlemen, and we'll probably stop it at this point. But we're going to make sure we get it across the country in a lot of people's hands and make sure they understand that this product does exist. So with that, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Have yourself a great day.